Hey Leo, it's your girl Jay, the High Priestess, back at it again with the general tarot reading for me, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Libra season 2023. Happy autumnal equinox. Welcome to Libra season. And you're actually the only reading that I'm doing in a different location than usual, and so I feel like y'all outside. Y'all are outside. You're exploring. Your social butterfly meter is ramping up. There's a bigger desire to be more interactive. I also feel like with the sun, your ruling planet, being in Libra, the ooey gooey yucky love stuff is coming in, or getting deeper or enriching in some sort of way. There also is this like long time coming justice, or something is a long time coming, something coming full circle. I do feel like your relationship to fairness, to justice, to advocacy is really evolving. What you know, I feel like you're going to start to notice what is unfair in your life, or what isn't going, the way that you would like. Be sure to check out your Sun, Moon, and Rising. Patreon gets everything first. Patreon.com/JustJEverything. For free shit, check out my Instasham at JustJ_everything. TikTok at JustJEverything, and for other dope shit that I do, my website, JustJEverything.com. Now, be sure to check out the Libra season astrology video as well. That's going to have all the important astrological transit dates that you'll want to pay attention to. But we're starting Libra season with the ruler of Libra direct in your sign. Actually, it's funny, Venus goes direct. She is direct, but Venus gets out of her post-retrograde shadow on October 7th, and then October 8th she leaves you. She leaves and goes into Virgo. And so you've had a lot of time with Venus, and I feel like you're learning so much when it comes to what you're attracted to, what you naturally attract in, the kind of souls, the kind of people that are drawn to you. I feel like you have learned a lot about how to activate your willpower. I feel like you've learned a lot about your love style, your love language, your the way that you receive love, the way that you give love. I feel like also there should have been some stuff coming up about the parents, like something that you've realized about your parents or your upbringing in some sort of way that I feel like really makes sense and applies to like your current love life. And so, but also the specific healing around the father, or the archetype of the father's bloodline, the father's side of the family. And I feel like once Venus goes on October 8th, when she goes into Virgo, it's going to switch to the matrilineal like side, the mother's bloodline, the mother energy. There's this focus on the mother child relationship, also focus on like nurturance, how you received nurturance or discipline or structure. I feel like you're all this like brand new access to your heart, this brand new access to your authenticity is now up for analyzation. It's like you've acquired all this data, and now you get to analyze it, you get to filter and sift through it. And also with the sun being in Libra, your ruling planet being in Libra, I just feel like that's going to really change all of your relationships. It's going to change how you show up for people. It's going to change how they show up for you. So let's get started. Hydrate. You already know. Light it if you got it. And I keep the fucking thing on me. So we're creating a safe space for my benevolent ancestors, Mother God, Father God, Mother Earth. Thanking you for the most useful, helpful, and divinely aligned messages for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. God, I love myself. For Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Libra season 2023. And I think that's your energy. When I lean into your energy, there's just these moments of like, God, thank God I'm me. Whew. So allow yourself that. Love yourself more. And if you haven't arrived at that point, I feel like that's the goal. Getting yourself to the point where you can be like giddy about how like dope life is, dope how you like how dope you are, how dope your friendships are. You know, how like great this like there's a new access to a different level of gratitude that I feel like is available for you guys. So let's get into it, please. For Leo, Sun. Okay. First thing out to be clarified on the selenite throne is the King of Swords. So I feel like in Libra season, it's going to make you more Libra, and it's going to make you way more analytical. It's going to really have you, it's going to really be asking you to be more masterful with your mind so you can be more masterful with your words. And when you're more masterful with your words, you'll be more masterful with your thoughts. 5:55 I just caught on the clock. So I do feel like there has been a lot of conflict in the realm of your mind. I feel like even conflict in regards to like your logic in conflict with your intuition, your logic or what like who you are in conflict with someone in authority. It may be someone with Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius placements. But I do feel like this person is coming in to challenge you, to challenge your intellect, to have you rise up to the table. Okay, some of you, because Leo energy is that regal energy. There is something very like you're natural born leaders, but you often have to like grow into that belief that you can lead. Leo, that's always like the thing for you. It's always like confidence and authenticity. You know, and I feel like there is someone that you're able to like suss out that is not like doesn't deserve to be in the role that they're in, or has not earned it, or is not a good leader, or is someone who's very, you know, selfish, or someone that's too by the book, someone that's all logic and like allows no feeling. I just feel like there's someone that's acting as a catalyst to like propel you into leadership or propel you into this better version of yourself. With the King of Swords coming out here, I feel like it is really important to pay attention to the facts. It is really important to let yourself be, you know, healthily analytical. But the thing is, with the King of Swords, like all the kings, with the kings there comes like a calcification of their suit. So the King of Swords isn't someone who like takes advice easily, isn't somebody that, you know, updates like his belief system or his thought process on a consistent basis. This can be somebody that who like that's been right so often that they have a hard time like taking in new information, because the goal is that whenever you experience a new truth, you update your beliefs, you update the way that you talk, you update your, you know, responses and the way that you approach the life in the world and how you communicate. And so I do feel like there is something about like getting better in like public speaking, or getting better when speaking to people or dealing with authority. I also feel like just being spending way more time with your thoughts is really important. I also feel like there is something about looking at if there's any restriction in the realm of your mind, or there may be somebody around you that like, it's like you thought you were a skeptic, but this person really is a skeptic, or you thought that you know, were super smart, but this person is really smart. You know, there could be a bit of a competition coming in, possibly, or there could be just someone. Let's see what comes out next. But this King of Swords, I feel like, could be someone very masterful with their mind, someone that knows multiple languages, or someone that's very practical and analytical, but also like militant in some sort of way. I feel like this person has been right a lot. They know their shit, and so it's hard for them to get unstuck from their ways. But I also feel like you don't need to assign yourself as being responsible for changing somebody's mind or expanding someone's mind. Like, you can bring the horse to water. Should they choose to drink? Not your responsibility. All right, keep going for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Four of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like there is this like letting go of some restrictive beliefs that you have around money or around prosperity. I feel like also like scared money don't make money. So there is something here about restructuring or being smarter about what you spend money on. Some of y'all spend money on dating too much. Yep, the lover's coming out right there. I can see it. Some of you spend too much money on taking people out on dates, but it's like you don't have enough money to like, you know, upgrade your phone or upgrade the things that you want or buy groceries. You know, there is something here about like rebuilding a firmer foundation or a more like solid foundation around money, finances, your definition of stability, your definition of comfortability. I feel like there are great ideas coming in from the divine about money. There's also like plenty of knowledge and information here on earth in the real, you know, in the 3D physical world that you can acquire about money, classes, seminars, articles, books, lectures. There's all kinds of stuff that you can like teach yourself when it comes to money or how to like start a business. This also could be you about like going to a mentor or finding a mentor or becoming a mentor in some sort of way, but it's going to require you to let go of something. The way that he's holding on to that fourth pinnacle, there is this like clinging to the old, clinging to something out of fear. This is like, oh well, I want to start this business and I need to get, let's say for instance, it's like I need to get an LLC, but I'm like, it costs this money and I have the money, but I'm afraid to do it because, you know, who knows what this next bill is, or some of you just, I feel like it's time to really get your priorities straight when it comes to like your goals, your dreams. Do your actions match your ambitions? And also understanding like, I don't know why this Kevin Hart quote keeps coming up, but it's like everybody wants to be famous, but no one wants to put the work in. You know, there is something like you want to be something or you want to do something and you need to like what it is that you're becoming or what you're doing or what you're being, but it won't feel like so strenuous and it won't feel so like this arduous uphill battle when you have this very specific goal in mind. I also feel like there is something about like you being stingy or like frugal. I want to say cheap. Some of y'all are being cheap when it comes to taking care of yourself. Some of you are being frugal when it comes to investing in your mind or educating yourself. I feel like there are these old beliefs or old mindsets, or there's this old like self-imposed financial glass ceiling that needs to be broken through. And you can't do that if you're like clinging and keeping yourself small in fear. 4 of Pentacles, then the 5 of Pentacles. Damn, 4 of Pentacles, then the 5 of Pentacles. At the center of the reading is the 5 of Pentacles, and then the 7 of Swords. I want to go ahead and get, Death reverse at the bottom of the deck. This lets me know that there is some sweeping change that wants to come into your life, but you're afraid of like pursuing it or afraid of the ending just because it's an ending, but it's like, it's also a beginning, you know, it's also something new. Let me get that final card, final message for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Libra season 2023. Nice. Okay, final card is the Ace of Swords reversed. And every time I see the King of Swords nowadays, I think of the Ace of Swords, because this is how this feels to me, is the divine's trying to give you this new upgrade, trying to say, hey, there's this new crown, there's this new sword, there's new tools I'm trying to give you, but I'm going to need you to hand over the old ones. That old way of thinking, that old processing, that old, like, the old way that you would process your data, or the old narrative that you would tell yourself. We all have these blanks in our lives that we fill in. Our mind chooses to fill in. And I just feel like some of you have filled in the blanks with misinformation. There's like this inaccurate belief about yourself in some sort of way. And what this feels like is the divine's like, hey, here's this update, and in order for you to like, I use this analogy in my sessions all the time. It's like, you know, when your phone gets an update, that's what this feels like. There is a new programming that is more efficient, that takes up less space, that creates more room, more opportunities, more fun, more, you know, all the things. And it's just like, in order to receive this, you've got to remove the old programming. You've got to uninstall it. And it can be uncomfortable. And I feel like that's what's coming through. You're letting go of the old programming, and it is uncomfortable. And you're starting to notice that it's uncomfortable because it's making you look at your childhood. It's making you look at the way that you were raised. It's making you look at your beliefs. And I feel like for some of you, you felt really left out in the cold, or it's making you face these trauma bonds, or feeling like you're on the outside of help, feeling like someone took from you or stole from you, or looking at the ways, like the different ways that trauma have been prevalent in your lives, any kind of cycles around trauma, like, or these like consistent or cyclical like trauma responses. I feel like it's going to show that some of you, there has been issues with like codependence or hyper independence, wherever you fall on that spectrum. There is some sort of way that I feel like the old programming, you holding on to the way that things are, puts you in a position where you're kind of like stealing from yourself, taking from yourself. And there is a breakthrough in the realm of the mind that requires you to acknowledge like shady business, shady behavior, your shady behavior, the shady behavior around that, you know, around the, with the people that have been, you know, you've surrounded yourself with. I don't know. It sounds superficial, but I feel like you guys will understand, like, successful people hang out with successful people, and miserable people hang out with miserable people. And so if you're the most like progressive or ambitious or kind or honest one in your group, then who is going to challenge you? How do you get this upgrade? Who's going to like bring that in if you keep, you know, keeping yourself around the like ain't shit people in a way? Or also some of you could be really like being hard on yourself when it comes to like self-worth, when it comes to money, when it comes to what you're owed or what's due to you in some sort of way. With the Queen of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, I do feel like Libra season is asking you to better yourself in some sort of way, to figure out what habits, what routines, what activities, what day-to-day things need to take place so that you can start to make sure your actions match your ambitions. I feel like this is a time for self-soothing, you really figuring out what soothing is, what recovery is, versus what numbing, and, you know, what identifying your trauma responses. There's something here about like a shift in behavior, a need to be way more kind and sweet. Like all your relationships will benefit, I'll say. All your relationships will benefit from you taking a more soothing approach with yourself, and therefore you will with them. I also feel like there may be somebody with Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. We'll look at this in the plunge, but there may be an earth sign around that. You need to figure out, like, is this benefiting you? Is this like, or is this like causing things to go backwards in some sort of way? There just may be someone who's like really negative, or someone that, you know, is very codependent around you, and you're needing to like break away from them. I also feel like some of you are having these like you're finally having these ideas or realizations about like what kind of work you should be doing, or what kind of service you are to provide. And with the King of Swords coming out, this is like, let go of what you think you know and allow yourself to just study. Allow yourself to become way more masterful in your education of whatever career or accomplishment that you're trying to pursue. The answer, the resolutions lie in knowledge, information, and education for you in Libra season. And it's time to get more knowledgeable about like financial wellness, about your physical health. It's time to get more knowledgeable about your self-worth and how that impacts the amount of money that you're making. Like the way that you view yourself dictates your self-image dictates your entire life. Period. Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. And so if you're walking around life with this I can't kind of attitude, the subconscious mind is just going to affirm that, and you go from being this to being this. You will start to degrade. Life will start to degrade if that's what you expect, because we have the experiences that we expect. And I just feel like there is a breaking away from this old narrative. This narrative that like every time I love I get hurt, every time I shoot my shot I get knocked down, or but that's life, baby. I get knocked down but I get up again. Never gonna keep me down, okay? Chumbawamba, come through. I don't think I've ever channeled that song. But there is a breakthrough, like breaking away from this version of yourself that vacillates, that just goes back and forth and struggles to make a decision. And I feel like you're going to start to notice the ways that you encounter or experience analysis paralysis in Libra season, but it's going to show you like that comes by way of you realizing like that it's your mind, it's the thought processes that lead to certain decisions that have held you back. And I feel like you won't be going back and forth. You won't be, so indecisive when you reach for education, knowledge, information. Whatever issue comes up, research. I want you to focus on being solution oriented in Libra season, not problem oriented. Because the real tragedy is for you is the idea of you staying in this place where you just assume that you are unsafe, so you do take unnecessary measures to protect yourself, and therefore end up isolating yourself, and you're looking in the past and focused on the past because you're operating out of fear, and it's keeping you in some way from like seeing what's ahead. It's like if you're operating out of fear, you're not even walking and looking forward, and you're not even able to see that there's this resolution. You won't even notice it until it passes you by and gets into your field of view, And so this is something here about all the grudges that you're holding, especially if it has something to do with someone with Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn placements. It's just like that. The things that you're holding on to, or the mindsets or the ideas or the stories you're telling yourself, it's doing you a disservice. Let it go. The pain that comes up, the conflict that comes up in Libra season is coming up to be released, so that you can start to move at the pace of life that you're needing to move at. And the closer that we get to Scorpio season, I feel like there's all these like aha moments. There's all this realization. There's these powerful conversations that come with this new level of enlightenment. This could be, a very profitable idea. It could be a new title. It could be a new status. There could be someone new that I feel like is coming in and is cutting through like some stagnation in your mind. Someone that's bringing in realizations, bringing in powerful insights. These are some really stimulating conversations that are going to be coming in, but this is also a tool that says, hey, you're going to need to like sever something. Swords are words, thoughts, legalities, mindsets, but it's also a fucking weapon. And you can weaponize your words, your mindset, your ideas, your thoughts. You can weaponize those things, and they can be agents of isolation for you. Or you can allow yourself to receive the truth, make the appropriate cuts, and not be a groupie and keep it motherfucking moving. I'm excited to clarify this. Over in Patreon, we clarify every single card, and we're going to dive deeper into this, and I hope to see you over there. Patreon.com/JustJEverything. Let's get into it. I love you. One more thing. I forgot to really mention that we have, I'm going to do a separate video on it, but we have in Libra season the new moon solar eclipse in Libra. And solar, meaning the sun, your ruling planet. And so solar eclipses really change the trajectory of our lives. It's like you think you're going this way, and then the solar eclipse is like, skirt, no, we're going this way. And so, and with it being in Libra, that's in regards to partnership. It's in regards to like connection. It's in regards to business contracts. It's in regards to like justice. What is due unto you? You know? And so I do feel like we're Leo, sun, moon, and rising. You're really breaking away from an old mindset, an old chapter, an old way of existing, and we're going on a different direction. And that solar eclipse, I feel like, is really here to shake shit up. That's happening on October 14th, and I'm going to do a separate video, so we'll dive deeper in it, but I just had to remind you of that. Don't be surprised that life is going in a different, when life starts to show up and go in a different direction than what you expect. Check which house this is for you, like what house Libra falls on. So for me, I'm a Libra rising. Libra is in my first house. So this is a profound change in direction about what I show people of me, my concept of me, you know, and so apply that to the house. So, but you will need to know your rising sign and your birth time for that. So I know not everybody has that information, and it's a fucking shame, but regardless of if you know it or not, Leo, your ruling planet is involved in an eclipse this season. And eclipses are sudden energy, things suddenly moving, suddenly shifting, suddenly leaving, suddenly coming in. And that's exactly what ace energy is all about. Suddenly, there is a severing. Suddenly, you find yourself wearing a crown. Suddenly, there's all this opportunity in fresh new energy. You got this. For the full version of the video, go to Patreon.